Hey, what's going on? Happy Monday.
Happy Monday. How was your extended weekend?
It was good. It was good. Didn't do much but play cards, so nothing too fantastic. And watched, of course, the reunions. So, I can't come. You know what? It's like you can't complain.
No, no, like I did absolutely nothing and I'm not mad at it. Nope. I vegged out.
It's so weird. In the past, I would just like want to be out doing stuff, and like I did. Like I went to play. Like I said, I went to play cards, and that was
Mhm.
it. Had my fancy sports, watch some football. It's weird how you get older. Like the less you want to do. At least for me. At least I find that for me.
I don't think it's a matter of getting older. I just think it's a matter of the times that we're in right now. That's a big
True.
factor for me.
Well, for me, it was always like when I was younger, I was like,
Mhm.
I wanted to be out of the house. I wanted to be out of the house. I was always out doing something. But now that I've
Mhm.
gotten older, it's like, like sitting on the bed watching football all day Sunday or basketball. Like it's not a bad thing.
Oh my God. Okay, so let's see who we have in the chat. Hello everybody. Hey Tony. Hey Black Lavender. Hi Iane. Let's see. Hey Trey. Hey Ablavi. Hey Miss Prettily Random. Hey Farmata. Okay. All right. So I'm just going to drop the link. And if anyone wants to call in, hey Montana, if anyone wants to call in and share their thoughts, they can. We do have to warn you. Yeah, Jamal just posted it. We have a hard stop today at noon or just before, because Jamal is going to be on the Real Andy of Beverly Hills Housewife Hunger Games.
Yeah, that's what it is. I'm interested to see how. I have to reread everything just to make sure I understand what's going on. Like it's gonna be fun. I'm very intrigued.
Oh my
Because
God.
if it's housewives, I think it's housewives trivia, if I understand it right.
That's what I thought it was. Yeah.
Like I'm down.
Oh my God. Well, I wish you luck, and I hope
Thank
everyone
you.
has a few moments to go over and just support Jamal so he could kick everybody else's butt. How about that? Okay, well, we've got two people in the back room. We've got Tony and we've got BAP0485. Hello, hello, hello.
Hey,
Hi.
can you hear me?
Yes, with
Yes.
BAP, we can hear you.
Okay.
Okay, so Tony, since you were first in, you have the honor of being first to give your general impressions of this
Okay.
fiasco called a reunion.
Okay. So I did not. Honestly, I have been checking out of Bravo
Mm-hmm.
for a few seasons. This season of all franchises, I watch through the reviews or like Kendall by Kendall on Instagram. So he gives me like a quick thing.
Mm-hmm.
Um, However, I've got the gist of it because it's been the same redundant storyline, and you can pick it up, right? So here's my thing. Everyone's talking about boycotting Bravo.
Mm-hmm.
Here's my thing with that. When Nene was saying the same thing, everybody was like, I'm not a Nene fan. I'm not a nobody fan on Bravo, first of all. When Nene was saying that, it was like, oh God, hi. So, sorry, guys, can I call you back in 2 seconds? I have a
Sure,
point and some like I just gotta do
Mhm.
something. So give me
sure.
1 minute and I will come back. Okay?
I'll
I'm
drop
gonna
you
leave
down
it
and
and
just do in the chat, when you get back in, okay?
okay. How do I just
In the
leave it?
private chat. Yeah.
Just leave it? Okay.
Yeah, just type in your note when you're ready.
Okay.
All right. All right. So we have a Blavi. So BAP, you're up next. What were your general thoughts of the reunion?
Um, I was overall, it was an interesting ending to the reunion. I'm glad Monique decided not to come back because I feel like the show got to like way too negative in a nasty place, you know?
Mm-hmm.
Um, the thing that stuck out to me the most was Giselle bringing that security guard and then acting like Chris was actually trying to attack somebody. He just
Yeah.
stood up discussing with what's his name?
The other
The
Chris?
other Chris. He
Yeah.
wasn't trying to go anywhere near Giselle or Robin or anybody else. And that part kind of made me upset because it's like
Mm-hmm.
people try and portray an image of certain people,
Mm-hmm.
and that was not what it was at all.
Mm-hmm. Well, I agree with you on that because I had a problem with Giselle's behavior overall, but I found it very insulting her bringing the bodyguard trick again because you should have gotten somebody bigger. Like he wasn't as big as Chris. Second of all, she wasn't behaving like a former first lady or how she expects these women to hold themselves. The language that was coming out of her mouth towards Chris, that was crazy. Um, I she reminded me of a cornered rat, and that's all I have to say with that. That whole I was just telling Jamal, the whole reunion, all three parts left a really foul taste in my mouth.
Right.
And I attribute most of that to Andy, and second to Giselle.
It seems like Andy didn't even watch the show.
Yeah, he was in an alternate universe because I think he took a side. And if he's the host, I think he should be unbiased.
Right.
Or at least try to be. And I don't think he tried very hard. I think it was very condescending towards Monique through most of the show. And I don't care about either of these women because I don't know them. I'm only going by what I see and hear on the screen. And it lost a lot of I don't know, it was very off. It wasn't a good reunion, and I think this reunion is proof that Andy needs to remove himself from being host of the reunions.
Yeah, he's gotten way too he isn't involved enough in actually watching the show, and he's too involved with the personalities on the shows. And it's like you can't be impartial when you actually have a tie to the people, you know?
Yep. And I think this also hit him a bit too close to home because all of this plot or assumed plot or alleged plot or whatever happened at or after his baby shower.
Right.
So
And it involved the producers.
exactly. So I think he has more problems than that. Jamal, do you have anything to say?
Can we just give a shout out to production, please? Can we give production a shout out? How they
Right.
just came through with the receipts. Like it
Kept
was
showing
never brought up
clips.
on the show. It was never brought on the show. Well, roll to Giselle just talking about the whole thing, putting it on camera.
Mm-hmm.
Come on now. Andy seemed like he was just mad at Monique. And sir, here's the thing. You as a producer or whatever you do, I understand your frustration with Monique. She did not want to film with Candace. You, from based on what multiple people have said, you spoke to Monique after the fight happened. You called her. She tried to walk away during mid-season. She was cool. She was done, but you wanted to make things comfortable for her, and because you felt that she was calling the shots. This is just my opinion. The way I see it. He was mad at her because he felt she was dictating how she was going to be filmed and
Right.
when
She
she
didn't
was
let
going to
herself
be
get
filmed.
rain.
Right. She wasn't going to put herself in positions to look crazy. So he was frustrated. But he also didn't want her to walk away because he knows that she's an integral part of the show, if not the show. Let's be honest, without Monique, who would we be talking about this whole season? Karen going to Surrey, Karen being drunk, Ashley being messy, Giselle being messy. I mean, there's not much there of
Yeah.
substance.
Mm-hmm.
So this is him being petty, just like we saw him with Vicky at the reunion, where she like just pretty much talking about this is my show, Andy does not like it when the ladies feel like they're above him or they want to take control. That's why him and Nene had issues. Granted, Nene was a little too big for her britches, granted, but he felt like, oh, you think you're bigger than me. You're bigger than the show. Okay, let me show you. And he does that. And he's doing it more and more. Sir, if you're over it, hire somebody else to do the reunion. Because you're no longer as impartial as you should be. You should be watching the season. You could be a little bit invested. I mean, these are technically your employees for the season, so you should be a little invested in their storylines, what's going on. If you can't do that, have someone else do it.
Yeah. Blavi, what were your thoughts?
People are not going to agree with me.
Okay.
I'm not for Monique, and I just don't see it for her. Now, granted, I'm not for Candace either, but she was talking to her boss crazy at that reunion. You cannot say that sort of stuff, and people need to realize when you are at work, there's a way to conduct yourself, because I can't go and tell my boss, oh, she talked smart to me, so I two-pieced her in the work room cubicle where we have snacks and stuff. He would look at me like I was crazy.
Okay, let me jump in on that one quick. I'll use my own experience for this. So, my manager and I have a relationship to where I let him know straight up, if anyone comes at me sideways, I'm going to let them have it, but then I'm going to come tell you about it. So that way, when they do come back to you and say something, you know exactly what I've said. So yes, I've sat there and gone in on people with him sitting right next to me. So each work environment is different. So there are instances where you can be honest.
But no. The problem with Monique is, and this is the other part about it, she picked the weakest link to hit. Because if I had to go back and I had to look at I went back on every season. Candace's mouth has been for Ashley. So she's not justified in that fight. When you go back, she's had a mouth for Ashley, not Monique. And then the season or two ago, Robin was all in her face and said, hit me. And she did nothing because she said, and quote, you look like a type of chick who would sue. So you know hitting somebody can get you sued.
Yep, that's fair. No, that's totally fair. I've always been like, but my thing is that there's no way someone is going to bring me on my character to where I'm going to hit you unless you hit me first. I was like, Monique, you was just mad about a whole bunch of other things, and she finally admitted that. I mean, because hitting Candace was unwarranted. Like, my whole thing is this: if I really can't stand you, I'm just going to walk away.
And
to be completely honest,
she didn't play the reunion well. I'll tell you why. All Candace wanted was an apology. And I'm going to tell you why that was important. If she had played the game right, we could have gotten rid of Giselle and Robin next season. If she played the game right. Because this whole thing with her child thing, okay, people going to hate me for saying this, but if it was an issue, why were you and Giselle hanging out in the beginning of the season? And then too, the whole thing online, like, this is not going to go away. All you're doing is allowing these women to get at you, come at you next season without you being there. Because don't think because you're not there, they won't pick up a storyline and do something foul. And then Candace, she better watch out because she's the next one out.
That was my whole situation with Candace. Like, and I was mad at both Monique and Candace because you allowed this woman to play both of you against each other. She don't like either of you, and I was pissed the whole season about that. Like, she don't like none of y'all because you tried to move forward with Giselle beginning of the season, blah 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 blah. I'm like, but she's still not for you. But okay, and then things go along. I mean, like, once you found out what was happening, because based on what I know and what I've heard, let me put it that way, what I've heard, Monique found out about really everything, like either before season, during. She knew somewhere in there. So if you know what's going on, once you hit the game, you just play it right and just be cool. Like, just keep it moving, keep it, keep it cordial. Don't be getting mad because she was just being mad at Candace for little petty stuff for no reason. I'm sorry, Monique overreacted about everything. That's just my opinion.
I'm a little jealous of Candace too. Because Candace is the only one who has that lifestyle and didn't have to marry a man to get the lifestyle. Now, I'm not going to go
Her mama paid for her lifestyle, but okay.
But I'd rather my mama pay for it than have to hunch on Chris.
Not me. I'm sorry. No, because that's what you should do. Like, if you're a 35-year-old woman, close to it, your mama should not be paying all your bills, so you have no room to
But
talk.
we say that, but we have no problem with Shep being almost 40 and his parents paying his bills.
No, he draws down from a trust fund.
Trust fund, different story.
Well, that's the same thing.
No, it's not.
Not necessarily.
That's family.
That
That's
money, that was grandma's money, and when she kicked the bucket, she could give it to whoever she want, and he do with it whatever he wants.
Well, if my parents are rich and they could help a sister out, honey, I'm taking the money.
I agree with you.
I agree with you. But I'm saying I'm not gonna broadcast. I'm not gonna sit there and broadcast that, and they get mad when people throw it in my face. Go sit down somewhere. If you don't want anybody to know, keep your mama's name out your mouth about her paying your bills.
The only problem with Candace is she's so attention seeking. She couldn't calm down and shut up because Monique. You know, this is really sad, but this season was boring with Monique. It's going to be boring without her. Like, she didn't really bring anything for me. She wasn't a big enough deal. The whole Andy is racist thing is...
Who said he was... Wait, where's that coming from?
That's the thing coming from the blogs. Like, Andy doesn't want to see Black families, and I think we need to check that. Because it is not Andy's job to promote Black families. If you want that, then you know what Chris should have done? Chris should have gotten an executive producer credit when his wife went on the show. And don't tell me it's not possible because Darcy and Stacey's dad got it and they were not on the first season of that show. That's how you attain, because if he had a producer credit, she could have had a spinoff and this would have been fine. But they didn't want to do that. If you want to be in control of what you're doing, you have to have ownership in it. You have to,
That's true.
So if you don't have ownership, you can't get mad when they put you crazy. And then I've been seeing a lot of people say, well, Teresa does all of this and the Mothers Against Violence. You living in a different time period, right? What Teresa did was she shook a table. Now, granted, it wasn't right, but she shook a table. Jacqueline's daughter pulled Danielle's extensions out, and she wasn't on the show that much. Danielle did it, and she's off the show. I just think that Monique...
Teresa attacked Andy on camera.
Right. Yeah, she did. She attacked Andy on camera.
Her boss.
Yeah, and I thought Teresa should have been fired, but Teresa went to jail. So what's worse?
Well, the jail stuff wasn't related to the show, though. That was because of her tactics.
They used the footage on the show when she went to prison because it was showing how she was funding her lifestyle. So yeah, they did subpoena those records.
But that had nothing to do with her attacking Andy.
Well, I personally think Teresa should have always been fired. But Teresa is one of those people who has shown her worth more than her fighting. And Monique has not done that. Monique has not carried the show. That's why the show's ratings is what it is.
The show's ratings have steadily increased, though.
You're right, but they're not like Jersey. They don't have... This show is the first season is doing well. This show is like Dallas. It's not that good, and I don't understand why people are pretending like Monique is carrying a show that nobody really watched.
Because it's the season that the ratings increased were seasons that were mostly about her.
But the season wasn't really even about her. The season was about Candace Crime.
Now the season was about Monique, definitely. That every single scene, even when she wasn't there, she was constantly being brought up. That was definitely about her and her interaction with Candace.
True, and Candace wouldn't be crying if she didn't get into the altercation with Monique.
Speaking, I would be happy if the whole show got canceled because I don't think Potomac brings it. But I think if Monique, I can see her side. She doesn't want to bring her children in it. I can see with Jersey how they should have been canceled. I can see, listen, Brandy Glanville should have been canceled when she slapped Lisa Vanderpump. I can agree to that. But I think that Monique, this is a very odd position to be in, and you don't want to burn your bridges like Nene Leakes.
But Monique's thing isn't she said she's done reality TV, period. So she's not trying to do this any longer. So she burning a bridge with Andy doesn't really impact her. They have businesses outside of the show.
Okay, but let's be honest. This is where we have to be honest with the business. Monique was a housewife, and she was saying she had businesses. We weren't seeing it. And I'm sorry, she wasn't doing anything. Those little luncheons she's had, that was not business opportunity. That was just her showing out for the camera like Giselle does. I'm sorry. I'm not a fan of Candace by any means. I think Candace milked that situation and was doing the most. But Monique, she really shot herself in the foot with telling, oh, I don't feel sorry. This is not the environment to do that in. Now, granted, she said it on the show, and she did say why that bothered her at the end. But no, you can't be doing that all season. This is not Love and Hip Hop. Now, if she wants to go in Love and Hip Hop, she can fight the girls all she wants.
So I have
I'm
a
just
little thing
personally
for you
glad the
guys.
show is done for the season
I have a little,
because it got really nasty.
Mm-hmm.
yeah, I have a little tidbit for you guys. So I just looked up. This is just as of October of this year, and it's interesting. Of the Housewives ratings, like their official ratings. So let's see. Number one is Beverly Hills, which I'm not surprised. Number two is actually Dallas. Shocker to me. Number three is actually Potomac. Number four is New York City.
Yeah.
Number five is Atlanta. Number six is Orange County. I'm not sure how they're not 15th, but okay. Jersey is actually 7th.
Yeah.
Miami was, this odd franchise is 8th. Of course, they're not in DC or 9. They're defunct. So if you're going to talk ratings and things of that nature, per the numbers, Potomac is number 3.
They did well,
right?
But that's not been every year. This is the first year they've done well, and this is really the first year they've really been trending. If we're gonna be honest.
Oh, I'm just saying, like, but if you're gonna go off of ratings, you have to rate a show where it's currently at. So
for this year, I think they did well, and for this year, Monique really had public opinion, and she could have really done a Kenya Moore. Now, granted, I drag Kenya Moore, but this is what I will say: she's a smart cookie, and she knows how to play the game. Now, if she don't want to be a reality show no more, that's fine. But this is not over by any means, because you have somebody who knows all your business out in the streets, ready to tell it for the right price.
Okay, what I'm going to do is Ablavi and Bap, I'm going to drop you guys down and bring up 2 of our other panelists from the backstage. Hang around and I'll bring you up for final thoughts, okay?
Okay.
Thanks. Okay. Hey, Tony. Hey, Grandma Scary. Okay, so Tony.
Yes.
Give us your thoughts on what you saw.
I'm laughing because it is so heated on the net, in the chat. Yo, I'm like, people, it's a TV show. Calm down. Even the people in the TV show, it's a TV show. Calm down. You are not making the vaccine for COVID. It's a TV show. Anywho, so back to what I was saying, because I was thinking about the whole boycotting Bravo.
Right.
And I was wondering, I'm like, when Nene was saying that, right? Which I agree was like, how come all of a sudden, like you're talking about it, right? Because it served you when it was, you know, you've been on all years, you've been buddy, make money, all of that. So people now are saying, because I guess last night, they want to, I've seen it like in lots of chats. Like I've been in a few of them since last night into the morning, on Instagram, on YouTube, lots of boycott. I think there was one specifically that said boycott Bravo. And I'm like, isn't that the same thing Nene was saying? And didn't Bravo serve you as well in the term of you get to see a show, you're entertained? But now, because Andy comes across, like I've noticed in previous reunions, he's been a dickhead. He's been such a dickhead in previous reunions, not just this one. Trust me. I think that's also part of why I stopped really watching in full entirety. Go on. Go, Jamal.
Hey, Tony. But when you said that, it takes me back to the season where was it season with Lisa? Was it season 10 of Beverly Hills with Lisa Vanderpump? When they all like ganged up on Camille, like it was just Andy would just let it happen.
Yeah, I think there was so you're on the same wavelength as me. Yeah, there was something, and I'm like, why is he like? And then his snarky ways, I can't stand. I just want to poke him in his eye because he gets so snarky with people And you can tell he does have favorites. And people are right. Like, he should have been from time. So I'm not on this new boycott bandwagon. It's just, I just question, why are others now saying this when it did serve you as well? Like when Nene said it. So really, people can't really go down on Nene so hard anymore, even though I'm not a fan of her. I'm not a fan of nobody on Bravo. But you see what I'm saying? In terms of the reunion, it's a reunion. And Andy was being his normal dickhead self. And in terms of watching it, I mean, I'll still watch it through reviews. It's not going to change my opinion of the franchise, because before this redundant season, Potomac was a blasé. It's like one of those housewives you just throw on the TV just to watch. Like, did any of you guys, I'm asking, did you ever really love any season of Potomac?
Love, for me, I can't say love.
Or
I mean, here's the problem with the show, and this is just my personal opinion.
Mm.
The ladies aren't dynamic enough, to be completely honest. Like, they don't draw me in to their lives unless it's actually being really messy. Michael doing the most, T'Challa flying around attacking Wendy and Karen, Karen just shading Giselle. I mean, there's nothing to really hold on to. You know what I mean? Like, they're not out really like going to work, doing businesses.
Because that's one thing I've noticed in the Bravo franchise is versus like the international ones. Like, I was watching Cheshire. I literally could tell you all their businesses, and I could tell you that they're making mad money. And they talk about it. I barely see their kids. Their kids might pop in and out, you know, have their little 1-2 conversations with mom, and that's it. But their business is on point. They talk to the ladies. And Bravo used to do that so well. And I'm like, what happened? Remember when Teresa was even doing her book thing?
Right.
Like, you had a cooking book, and that was on air, and you know, she would have her little time with the kids. Like, can you just get back to that type of stuff versus like you're going in on people's kids or on people's relationships? Like,
But Potomac with Potomac. Oh, sorry, Tony. Go ahead.
No, go ahead. I'm done.
But Potomac they really don't really have businesses that they had prior, so that's part of the reason.
Mm-hmm.
And number two, there's no real leader on that show, so they're all trying to fight for that spot, but they have nothing to fight with. And what it is, they're seeing being messy, but you can't be messy for your whole life. That can't be all your life is about being messy.
Agreed.
Bad fashion, bad wigs. I mean, we can go on Instagram and see that. Like, what are you really doing with yourself? Like, what are you doing? My thing is this: what Potomac could have been. They don't have enough women. First of all, I still stand by this, and I always say this: 7 women, 2 friends. Why not pool your money together? Why aren't y'all starting businesses together? Y'all want to talk about being like Black pride and you know, I'm proud to be a Black woman, blah blah blah. But my thing is this: Giselle, your best homegirl, starting a hat line. How come you're not investing in her hat line? Why aren't you helping her with some of your like creative designs? You know, why aren't you guys helping Karen out with her wig line? Why aren't y'all like actually promoting her wigs? Karen, why aren't you putting money into your friends' businesses? Because y'all not friends.
Yeah.
That's the problem. Y'all not real friends. Y'all too competitive with each other. And I will say this, and people may not like it, within the Black community, this is where we fall short.
Agreed.
We have a very survivor's mentality that I gotta get mine first, gotta make sure I get mine, be well, blah blah blah. And if I got like a couple pennies for you, I'll help you out later. But we're so focused on survival and doing for self that we don't think to help other people. Other cultures do it, and they do it quite well. And where I grew up, it's mostly the Asian community. Like, they pull their money, they do businesses, they buy real estate, they do all these sorts of things, but they're all about family and community. Then itself. Within our community, it's not that way.
I agree 1,000% with you, Jamal.
Well, I find it very telling that this particular franchise, a bird is a better character than the actual humans that are on the show. And I think that says a lot about this particular franchise. Grandma Scary, hello, my dear. How are you? What are your
Hey,
thoughts on the reunion?
hey. Well, my thoughts on looking at Bravo altogether is if it were me, I would retool that and I would say I would put ladies on there that, like, for example, Potomac, they don't have to be friends. They don't even have to interact. Just show their lives. Have 8 or 10 beautiful black, Asian, white, it doesn't matter, women doing what they do and show their lives. And if they interact with 1 or 2 of the others, that's great. What are these trips for? It's nothing but stupid shit. And then you've got Kelly Dodd. People are boycotting that because of Kelly Dodd. Kelly Dodd should have been fired a long time ago. She's a horrible person. Giselle is a horrible person. Jamal is a horrible person. You know, I just think, why are you putting these people that, if you want to represent, for example, Kelly Dodd is Hispanic. If you want to represent a really good Hispanic family, then represent a really good Hispanic family. Why is Bravo representing Tardy for the Party Kim Zolciak? I mean, she's drinking her wine out of those solo cups all the time, giving her young daughters uh, plastic surgery so they're going to look just as plastic as her. Her lips look like they could balance a beer can now, just by themselves. It's become a ridiculous show that could be a really good show that could represent really the best, and not necessarily the richest, the up and comers. Like, look at Bethany Frankel when she was an up and comer, and she was really going after that fame and really working her butt off. You know, she now, what does she do? She does a lot of charity stuff. That is in all of our communities, black, white, purple, I don't care what color. And why are we not doing something like that? Instead of letting messy Andy Cohen, drug addicted Andy Cohen,
Allegedly.
well, yeah, allegedly, but allegedly by a lot of allegedly people,
Mhm.
uh, doing these shows, it seems like every reunion is a gang up on someone. It's always a gang up on someone. Always. And every show has become a gang up on someone. And if, you know, I don't really care if they interact with each other. I'm interested in, like, say, someone like Sutton's. She's the little that I saw of her, Sutton's stat. I thought, here's a woman that's she's got a really dry sense of humor, kind of funny. You know, I'd like to see what she's doing. And on the other end of that, if there's a woman with a startup, I'd like to see what they're doing. I'd like to celebrate Monique as being a black, beautiful woman who has talent, who has a best friend that's, I'll probably get this wrong, but I believe transgender. And why are we not seeing more of her? Why are we not seeing more of her life? What has her life been like to be a transgender woman? I mean, you've got this gem right there.
Well, I, I see what you're saying, Grandma Scary, but in saying that, we're all saying let's cancel Bravo or boycott Bravo or whatever. And I agree with that, but the root of the problem is the production company. The production companies I found have fallen into like a one-trick pony lane. Like you said, every year it's attack one person,
Yep.
and it's getting kind of tired right now, and they're getting very desperate with their storylines, and it's very soap opera-ish, and I stopped watching soap operas more than
Desperate
20 years
and
ago.
mean. I did
Yes.
too. You know what? Watching soap operas will just bring you nothing but depression because nothing is ever um resolved.
Well,
And this meanness, we don't need this meanness in this world. We,
yeah.
and they haven't figured out that people are getting tired of it. I mean, look at I listened to the reviews last night through the night because I was awake most of the night, and of Monique quitting, but not only that, of what people thought of the reunion. And by and far, I didn't hear one good thing said about Andy. I didn't hear one good thing said about Giselle and her swearing. I didn't hear one good thing said about Candace, and I swear to God, she's putting a little bit of hot sauce on the corner of those napkins. That's an old trick to cry, and she is an actress after all, since she's on a Hallmark movie or whatever. Uh, I didn't hear any of that. I what I heard was just, you know, and clips from Andy over and over again shading people. Andy, this reunion was really a mistake for him because he made some real bad missteps with saying that he had sorry, he had uh not heard one word about the trainer being the father or whatever. And there was never any plot. Well, you know, it's too bad Giselle couldn't have whipped out a little bit of well, here it is. Here's the tape of Candace going on about the plot after your baby shower, Andy, with some of your producers, Andy. You know, that binder, to me, Candace ought to do a tell-all book, and it ought to be called the Bravo Binder.
But how do we know it wasn't brought up? Because did they not say that taping was like 11 hours long? We only got to see 3.5 hours.
Well, and you know what? That's a good point. And I do wonder if that's what made her quit, was after watching what they edited it down to and how they edited it, that she said, screw this, I'm out. And good for her. Good for her. She
Agreed. My
doesn't
thing.
need them. Andy
Mhm.
sounded jealous, and he sounded like he was shocked. I did that once when I was my husband was working, and I just like to work to get out of the house. And I was a waitress before I was a nurse, and almost same thing when you think about it, but I was a waitress, and there was the boss who liked to bully his waitresses. And I just said to him one day, I don't need this job. So if you want me here, I'm good at what I do and I'm on time and I show up. And if you don't, you just let me know. But you're not going to bully me. I don't need it.
I agree. Here's the thing I've noticed, and I'm not sure if you guys have noticed as well. Andy tends to come to resent the housewives who don't need Bravo. Because if you think about it, he fell out, like he allowed Lisa Vanderpump to go through what she went through.
Yep.
She didn't need the show. Bethany, like when she granted she quit the day before, which I thought was classic, but she didn't need the show. And then he fell out with her because of um she wanted to do other things with another production company. He didn't like it, so he said okay. He went off on her. She's like, "Cool, I'm out, deuces." And he just has a problem with people who don't need Bravo. And
Yep.
the issue with Bethany is a little bit different because Bravo did not make any money off of Bethany outside of what she did on the show. So
Yes. Yes.
that's another sticking point that people forget about her contract.
Yes.
So while she never
That
says anything
girl
bad
is
about
a
Bravo,
genius. I mean, she wasn't, and I don't think Bravo ever saw her as being successful, so that they went ahead and let her do her contract like that. She's a genius. She
well, they
knew
didn't.
she was going to be a success.
Basically what it was is this: Bethany banked on herself and her business acumen.
Yep.
So as Bethany was only getting paid, like her contract was so small. I think the initial offer was 32,000 for the first season. She took 8, but was able to write that clause into her contract. Bravo said, "Cool, we don't know where this is going to go anyway. Why not? You're funny, you're witty, you're entertaining, and we're gonna get you dirt cheap." So for them, they felt they were getting a huge break, but
Hmm.
they didn't realize like what she would do. Because if you really look at the Housewives as a whole, she's the only one who's really built a brand on Bravo
Mm-hmm.
for free,
Yep.
Hmm.
for free, and just sold her for like just hundreds of millions of dollars.
Yeah.
So there is resentment on Bravo. There is resentment on probably Andy Cohen's end, which is why no one else has been allowed to have that clause into their contracts. No one can have that contract ever again because they missed out on so much money and so much royalty money off of that business.
Mm-hmm.
Well, and don't you think that Andy Cohen's face fell when Monique said, no, I mean, basically what I'm making is chump change compared to what Chris makes. And he made some comment about, well, Chris doesn't make what he did when he was in the NFL. And she's like, oh, no, he has a really healthy portfolio. And,
Right.
do they not do their homework on some of these people? I mean,
No.
really? Some of these people end up being crazy. Do they
Right.
not do their homework?
No.
Well,
It's the veiled assumption what some people have said as the white savior complex because he doesn't talk about anyone else's money. I haven't seen him talk about anybody else's money on any other franchise. Especially, we'll take Beverly Hills for example. I never heard mention up Brandy Glanville's finances,
that's
Nope.
true.
and we all know based on what we've heard and what the people are saying, she needs a check. Otherwise, she wouldn't be running around here like on trying to get back on Beverly Hills so bad. So people took that as like, okay, you're being a little bit prejudiced, racist, because why are you bringing up a black woman's finances, making the assumption that she needs your show, and you've not done that on any other predominantly white franchises? That's very interesting.
And with well, I mean, with the exception of Candy, from um no Atlanta, uh, Candy is a smart businesswoman and she has been able to roll in a lot. But why is Bravo, if they are so um progressive right now in today's outlook of things, why are they allowing Kenya? Because they could edit it out, and Candy didn't even deny it, or say Candy just gave a smirk, allowing Kenya to make it sound like Portia's getting jailed just for a storyline.
I think that's just
That
deceptive
was
editing. That's
disgusting.
something that they are becoming used to doing right now to get viewers, is the shady editing. Again, I think they need to reevaluate the production companies that are doing the various franchises and revamp how they produce these shows, revamp the
Yep.
characters who have been signed to play the roles on these shows, and realize that their audience is not stupid.
Well,
And
and let them play themselves. This is the
well,
first
not
year
only that,
I've
I think,
liked Karen. This is the
well,
first year I have liked Karen because to me, she showed some vulnerability, and she showed that, her marriage wasn't perfect. Her life wasn't perfect.
there's been
She had
progressive
to
growth
bail
for
her
Karen.
husband out.
Mm-hmm.
She showed that vulnerability.
Okay, I'm
And,
gonna bring up the other ladies
you
in the
know,
back because we're gonna start to do
absolutely.
final thoughts. Hold on.
Yeah,
Here's a
because we got to watch
Blondie.
Jamal,
Yes, and
for
here's
sure.
Bob. Welcome back, ladies.
Hey.
So who do I start with first? Bob. Final thoughts on what you thought on the season or on the reunion, or anything that you want to just give a final gem to.
You want me to start?
Yeah.
I mean, to me, it's just becoming a typical Bravo franchise housewives. It's not good, and I'll just keep watching through reviews on YouTube. I won't waste my brain cells by watching a full season. Maybe Dallas though, because I do like Dallas.
Okay. I've never gotten into Dallas, but
I don't know what it is with Dallas. Maybe it's their accent. I just find it. I don't know, something about Dallas.
well, this season they have chicken feet, so I might tune in.
What's that?
The latest character, the doctor that they're bringing on, she's making the other ladies eat chicken feet.
Oh, okay. I'll stay tuned. All right, I'm gonna drop myself down. But bye, guys. Jamal, where are you gonna be again? So I'll tune in.
It's gonna be on the real Annie of Beverly Hills channel.
Okay. All right. Bye, guys.
All right.
Bye.
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 Okay, so Bob, any final thoughts?
My final thought about this whole season and the viewing of it in general is that I hope with it being over and with with Monique leaving the show, that people will be less intense about it and get back to not bashing each other over the head about some reality TV characters. That's my final thought.
I think you're hoping for a lot, because I don't think Potomac, specifically after watching this season, has the emotional maturity or intelligence to not, like, I think Ablavi mentioned it before, like they're gonna just go in on Monique whether she's there or not, because it's
Right.
just the easy path for them. I think all these women are lazy. I think all these women are bad-minded. They're not nice people. They came off as really mean-spirited individuals, and I think the mask fell off quite a few of them throughout the season and at the reunion. And I really question myself if I want to waste any more time on people who, I'm not saying they have to be real all the time, but my God, I question everything now.
Yeah,
don't
I
know if
don't
I
plan
want
on continuing to watch the show after this because it got way beyond what I think a reality TV show is supposed to be. Overall, I'm kind of over reality TV,
to.
but this just was a further nudge in that direction.
Yeah. Um, it's just sad that they did it to you know, a franchise that is all predominantly women of color, and I
Right.
cannot believe that they allowed themselves to be like sucked into this plot line of attacking one of their own. It's just not a very good look. And then when you look at Atlanta and they're talking about the Black Lives Movement and you know how involved they are there, I wonder how genuine Bravo or these production companies are in, you know, people of color who are both on their cast or who are watching as an audience. Like a lot of their credibility was lost to me with these two shows.
I couldn't agree more.
And if I offended anybody, I truly am sorry. It's just the way how I feel, not anybody else. But yeah, it was sad. It was sad to see the breakdown of that. And you know, it is just for entertainment, but at what cost?
Right.
Thank you, Bob. I
All right.
appreciate you calling in, and I hope you call back in again. And don't forget to watch Jamal later.
Okay. Bye, y'all.
Bye, dear. Grandma Scary, any final notes?
Well, I think Andy likes the same old playbook. And you know what I think's going to happen with Potomac next year? Candace is going to be the one because Giselle, she don't forget. She's not going to forget, and neither is Robin, that Candace went on and exposed the plot.
Yeah.
That plot was never supposed to be exposed. It was supposed to be a big surprise.
Yeah.
And so I believe Candace is the weak link. She's the weak link, and next year, she's gonna get it. And you know, karma's a bitch. But good luck, Jamal.
Thanks, Grandma Scary.
All
Thanks.
right.
See you
Bye,
soon. Thanks for
guys.
dialing
Yeah, I'm so glad I caught you guys. Bye. Bye, Bobby.
Bye, Grandma Scary.
in. Bye.
Bye.
Mrs. Blavy, last but not least.
Yes. I'm gonna be honest with you. I hated this season. I thought it was boring like every other season. And I went in the season wanting to be on Monique's side and ready to get rid of Candace. I just think that it should have stopped at 12 episodes like OC did and just stopped at the fight and then have a reunion to discuss it. That way we didn't have to have, 10 episodes of nothing. Oh, the fight. Go on.
I have a question for you, Bobby. So, given that everything came out before the season, I'm going to agree with you on the 12. They should. Do you think they should have just done maybe 12 to 14 episodes and then a 90-minute reunion and just leave it at that?
Yeah, and also what I find strange about this show is they didn't have any friends of the show.
That's
true. The closest
Unless
thing
you
we got was
count
Sharice.
T'Challa. No, T'Challa. Because they wouldn't let Sharice talk except to tell her to move.
I think they really rushed this season, and I really think it needed a few more girls. Like, at least if they weren't going to give us 2 housewives, at least 2 friends of the show who is really going to be there. And like, again, this is my biggest problem with the show. They need to find women who are busy doing something. I'm sorry. When you're
No, Bobby, don't be sorry because I completely agree with you. I completely agree with you. I mean, you can't have every single woman not doing nothing. Like Karen, you start these businesses, but then we don't see anything afterwards. So, Bobby, I'm completely with you on that. Sorry, go ahead. I had to jump in.
I guess I'm going to make it clear. I am for them rebooting the season because I think that this still has the stench of DC, and it's just like if DC had stayed, to me this is what DC would have been. It's super flat, super boring. But I also wanted to say, you keep saying that rich women don't want to do the show. Maybe it's not that rich women don't want to do the show. Maybe Andy doesn't want the competition.
As being another rich woman?
No. Because if they're wealthy, say he had a whole cast of Monique.
Excuse me.
Every girl was wealthy. Everybody's husband was doing well. It's a different power dynamic when you don't need the check than when you need it.
That's true.
No, that's very true.
Mm-hmm.
Because look how differently Beverly Hills is treated than everybody else.
True.
Look at how he
That's
treats
very-
like Carol. She was very wealthy. She was treated different. Tinsley was very wealthy. You know, they've had some very wealthy women on it. So I think Bravo Andy doesn't want the competition. I also think this will be my last season of Potomac because it was painful watching every episode. It was painful, even though I did it 12 minutes an episode. It was painful. Atlanta, see, I told you I wasn't going to like this Black Lives Matter stuff. I already see in the promo, we at it again. With Portia, y'all activists, not mine. I see that Southern Charm isn't coming back to January 7th. What happened?
They need time.
I don't think they have enough footage. I don't think they have enough footage.
They can't.
Mm-hmm.
Oh my! And then we have Dallas coming back. You know what? They need to stop with Dallas. Bring back Beverly Hills. I'm ready to be in the house and seeing Erica and her husband scamming. I don't want to, let Dallas be the summer when I don't want to watch it. Bring Erica, give her a spinoff so I can see her in the courtroom because that's what I was mad about Teresa. I want to see her in the courtroom going.
I don't think they'll let the cameras in the courtroom though.
They let it happen with OJ. Why can't they have it? I'm ready to see.
Those are court cameras. That was different.
Get Judge Judy on the line. Get TMZ and let's put it out there at the courthouse.
But if you think Erica is going to let us in on this, I would be very surprised. That's why I'm hesitant.
Because she has $7,000 that she needs to pay her building for her rent every month. And honey, my homegirl is broke. The bank account is
Debbie.
0.
Mm-hmm.
Debbie, I'm not sure if you've noticed. I don't know if you saw some of the blogs, but apparently Lisa Rinna's already come out and said, "Oh yeah, she's talking about it."
Yeah,
Lisa Rinna's happy.
Erica's one of those characters though that she just, if she doesn't want to talk, she shuts down, and I'm just not. I'm not expecting much. I'll leave it at that. I'm not expecting much.
Because her son is a cop, so I want to see her son take her to jail. I'm petty with
it. Oh my God.
But Debbie, here's the thing though. Here's the thing with this. Erica cannot get away with not talking about the reason why is because everything is breaking while filming is going.
Yeah, they fast track it.
So yeah, she cannot get. There's too much out there for people not to talk about it, and people around Beverly Hills are just talking about her like a dog. Like,
and
okay,
we need to have Erica, the prison edition. Yes, I'm ready. Have her son in jail. I want to see Tom because if they can put Bill Cosby in jail, Tom, you can go to jail too. Oh, honey, that would be. Can you imagine going to prison? That would be a fantastic one because we already love After Lockup.
So wait, Montana Marcia said something. I had a question about this. Is it just Tom's bank accounts that are frozen, or is it Erica's as well?
Both now.
Remember, she can't sell her clothes because they saying she was scamming and everything is in her name. Yes, honey. And I want to see a forensic accountant go through everything. Listen, This is the show, Bravo. You need to give Erica her spinoff and say, Erica, prison edition.
It would be nice to see Erica prison edition.
Lock up people to produce it. None of that BS with the housewives. Give Love After Lockup people to produce it, and let's get it on.
You know what? I was thinking about that because maybe if they got Sharp Entertainment from over at TLC to come and do a housewife franchise, we might actually be interested. Because I'm not gonna lie, TLC has stolen a lot of Bravo's like Sunday night. And they need to look at that formula and retool it. I'm not saying go get, people from overseas or jail people or anything like that. But
we being real messy. I hope maybe because they look like Puppy and them about to go to jail again. Maybe we can do the lesbian crew in jail on the block. On the jailhouse block.
Yes, and Erica could form a new band and they could all pat the puss together. Nice.
And then they can do Pussycats Prison Edition.
Oh Jesus. All right.
I mean, it's just like with that situation, before we go, that situation, yeah, I'm looking forward to this season because you got Kathy Hilton gonna come in and shake up the scene. She about to get Kyle. Like, Kyle, you gotta stay away from Rena. Rena's gonna go in on Erica eventually because she kind of broke. And then of course she gonna have Amelia and Scott Disick to work with for a couple episodes. Lisa Rinna is juiced for this season because she's like, I still ain't got nothing to do. You know, she was worried coming into the season. Whose storyline? I ain't got no Denise, no Lisa Vanderpump. What am I gonna do? She like, perfect. I got Erica broke and divorcing. Then I got Amelia and Scott. I'm good. Okay.
Oh, and we got to go with Amelia. We got to go. It's not a pedophile, but like it. Yes.
Oh my gosh, you two are too much. No, but it would be great if Erica would open up. I'm just saying. Do I have hope for it? Nope.
But I'm telling you, we got to get the Love After Lockup people, and we got to do Erica Jane Prison Edition.
I mean, I'm with the Blavy though, because what they really could do if Bravo were smart, if a Blavy get Andy on the line, Andy, give Erica her spin-off. It could be all about her court case. I'm telling you, people want to see it.
Because they should have done that with Teresa.
Yeah, I agree. I agree with that. You live stream the court. I mean, the ratings will go through the roof because everybody wants to go on. Because here's my thing. I'm with the Blavy. I've said this on other streams. I want to see the forensic accounts. I want to know where the money is.
I want them to say she spent $2 million a month on clothes.
I don't know. Y'all are making me want to watch it, but I know I have no hope.
But you have to do that after she goes to prison, because when she's in prison, then we could really spin her tea, and then they can go in with her camera in the prison oranges. Oh my God, it will be life.
Mm-hmm. And pay her with extensions. So yeah.
No, you're gonna give her money. She just can't use it until after she leaves.
Unless they set up an offshore account in Cayman or Isle of Jersey or something like that, I wouldn't pay her money. Because all that money will be going to whoever Tom owes all of his loans on.
Well, she can keep it in retirement and wait till she's 65, and like how OJ did. Because she's gonna be in prison for a little bit.
I think the only reason why his retirement his pension wasn't touchable was the way how the NFL sets up their pension scheme, because they know that they abuse all of those players and they have to have some sort of little nest egg for when they get too old and broken and they have nothing left. At least they have their pension, and it's the way how that's the only reason why his pension fund was not.
Well, you guys, we gotta start. I don't know, maybe we don't do just reality, but we gotta do something else, because I can't be watching Bravo this much.
I think a lot of people are agreeing with you now. But tomorrow's TLC Tuesday.
Oh, I haven't even watched it yet, so I gotta go watch it.
Yeah.
I'm glad to go to the Real Andy and get it going.
Yes. So thanks for calling in. See you tomorrow for sure. Please watch TLC so that we could get your opinion on it. Bye.
Yes, I'm looking forward to that.
All right, Jamal. Any final words before you head off?
No, this was good. I have to log in shortly. This was great, like good conversation as usual. I mean, I like when reality TV can make you actually think, and I like the fact that within our chat and our subscribers, like we can have these conversations, but look deeper than what the surface shows. Because if you look below the surface, you can have very good conversations. It doesn't have to all be messy and all this talk about the mess. Like, no, it should be real conversations. Because that's what reality TV. I think that's what reality TV is for. To be honest, it's to see other people's lives and to make you think beyond what you see. Like, what's really going on here? Where is this going? Like I said, my biggest thing is this. I want to see where Erica and Tom spent the money or where the money's hidden. I'm sorry. That's really what I want to know.
It's all in
What
her
about you?
closet. You could tell me about it. I just have
No, are
no
you looking
hopes for
like what are
her.
your thoughts?
I would love to
Gotcha.
find out. I would love to find out all of the chicanery that those two were doing, because I know they were doing it. And I know she's been a closed book all the years that she's been on this show, and she's deflected onto everybody else. But
Hmm.
you've seen over the last 2 seasons of Beverly Hills, Erica her look has gone down, and her
Mm.
flying off the edge. Usually she's as cool as an iceberg, and she's always put together and non-combative. But when they were in Japan, I think it was, and she flew off the handle about somebody talking about her son. And then this last season, she just was not her. And you saw the cracks forming. You saw the pressures
Hmm.
bearing down on her. I didn't know what was going on, but had we had a look further into her, instead of just seeing her patting her puss all these years, if we had gotten to know the real Erica and seen what her life was with or without Tom, I might have a bit more interest in seeing the complete demise of Erica Girardi, Jane, or whatever she is. But right now, I'm not that interested.
Well, I'm trying to see when does Beverly Hills come back.
But
Um,
they're only on COVID break right now because people got sick. Um, I don't think they've
true. That is true.
completed filming, because
I didn't
I
think
think
so.
they got
I was waiting
shut
for an
down around
update
Thanksgiving, didn't they?
somewhere in there. Yeah, I was
Mm-hmm.
curious like how far they're along because I really want to see them because I wanted to do like a pre-season type. What do we think is going to happen? What I want to dig deep in that one because there's a lot to unpack with all the new players, the new shifts in dynamic. I think this season may be a redemption season for Beverly Hills, and they desperately need one.
Okay, if you say so.
I think
I don't,
I think so.
as excited as we are for it, I just feel like we'll be let down yet again.
Let down. Yeah.
So I'll
Oh,
be the pessimist
I'm
in this relationship.
okay. I mean, I'm not excited. I'm more intrigued and hopeful. I was more hopeful when Kathy was going to be on the show as a friend.
Mm-hmm.
I'm more hopeful due to the fact that all of this drama is playing out during the season. So
Mm-hmm.
what's going to happen? Either Erica's going to talk about it, or she won't talk about it, and she won't be coming back the next season because
But
Bravo can't keep her if she does not talk about this.
Erica has already gotten herself into trouble by by doxing that judge that Tom allegedly has some sort of relationship with. She's already gotten herself in trouble.
Hmm.
Based on what she's shown us in the past, I think that might clam her up even further. She has to be careful how she
Mm,
handles this. As she said, her husband is a great lawyer. So you're
yes,
going
true.
up against that in the divorce. And now you're attacking a judge and docking her because apparently there's an alleged
Yeah, that was.
relationship. Like, bad move on top of bad move. I see her legal team telling her, if they're still getting paid, slow your
Mhm.
roll. Keep your mouth
Yeah,
shut.
I agree. That was when she did that. I was like, "Are you serious? A
I,
sitting judge?
and she knows
Come on
better.
now."
20 years married to Tom
Right.
Girardi. You know better, girl. And I'm
I mean,
wondering if
like
she
being married
did
for
that
him.
on purpose so that she doesn't have to talk for the rest of the filming.
So what you're saying is you think that she did this on purpose so they will put a gag order on her if she can't talk.
Mm-hmm.
If she thought that far, she didn't pick up a few tricks from Tom.
You have to pick up something after 20-something years.
I agree.
And she's not
I
stupid.
agree.
She might not have the
Not by a
formal
long shot.
education of Dr. Wendy, but she's not stupid. And I just thought it was
Right.
such a stupid move for her, a woman of her intellect, to do that doxing. But then when I looked at the information that she doxed, it was so old. It was like 3G and 4G. Like it made
Right.
no sense. And that's why I was just thinking, she don't want to talk. And Bravo is counting on her to talk. This is the way to shut it down with 20-year-old information in a doxing.
It was hilarious. I'm looking at the phone, I'm like, who phone looks like that nowadays? I'm like, somebody need to upgrade. Just like, what? And people
Yeah.
like, because some friends that we're talking like, Jamal, did you see them? Like, did you see like, y'all know that's old, right? You know it's like 3 and 4G, right? They're like, wait a minute, let me go back and look. Like, they're like,
Yeah.
really, 20 years? Come on now, like exactly.
Like the chances of that still being that judge's number is slim to none. Just saying.
So
But
stupid.
she sly as a
It was
fox,
just,
so
she's very stupidly smart. So I'm not mad at her.
Okay, my friend,
This is gonna
you
be
head
interesting.
off to
All right.
your competition. Wait, where do we find it again? The Real Andy of
Real
Beverly Hills
Andy
channel?
Beverly Hills. Yeah.
And it's the Housewife Hunter Games.
Hunger Games. Yeah.
Hunger Games. Oh my God, sorry. All right, so we're gonna all go over there. What time does it start?
1
p.m. your time, Pacific?
my time. Yeah. So 4
So that's
p.m.
4
Yeah, 4
p.m.
p.m. yours.
Eastern. Okay, everybody tune in and wish Jamal luck so that he can win the Hunger Games.
All right, guys. Thank you.
Bye.
Bye.